Just so I prepare, how many people in a panel are generally interviewing you? And do they help you if you get stuck? I'm picturing it would be like talking to a project team. Again, it depends on the size of the design team. So I just interviewed for an agency, and my final whiteboarding interview was only 2 people, and it was virtual. And yeah, they generally will help you if you get stuck, but it's more about, look, they're not expecting you to like conduct a bunch of user research or anything. Like you're only going to have, 30 minutes to an hour typically. So you have to make some assumptions, right? Like you have to be like, oh, well, like based on the scenario you gave me, I'm assuming that your user is 25 to whatever, 40 years old. And, these are typically what this type of user typically experiences. And based on what I know about the industry and the app currently, here are some things I think they, could use or might be struggling with, right? So it's all about like making assumptions, and it's all about saying stuff out loud so they can, that's one thing, one really important part about these whiteboarding interviews. You don't want to do them in silence. Like you always want to be just articulating what's happening. You can always be writing stuff down or asking more questions. And like I said, sometimes they'll play more of the role of a client. So they'd be like the subject matter expert, or sometimes they're sort of like just like a third party like voice to say like, they'll sort of guide you along. It's like, okay, this is great, but maybe we only have 15 minutes. So like, let's start sketching solutions now. So I guess my roundabout answer is it depends. But it kind of comes down to you being the one guiding the interview. Like you are pushing the pace of it. You're asking questions. Once you feel like you have enough information gathered, you sort of move on to maybe the next stage. And hopefully they'll jump in when necessary.